Flash vs. Superman. It's the ultimate comic book showdown, the question that has fueled countless debates in comic shops and online forums for decades. Who is truly the fastest man alive? Is it the Man of Steel, the Kryptonian powerhouse who can fly faster than a speeding bullet? Or is it the Scarlet Speedster, the hero who taps into the very energy of motion itself? Today, we're not just answering the question, we're diving deep into the comic book history, the physics, and the sheer epic scale of their legendary races to finally settle the score. So, get ready, because we're about to see who really earns the title of the fastest being in the DC universe. To understand this rivalry, we have to go back to the beginning. The very first race between Superman and the Flash happened way back in 1967, in Superman issue number 199. The story, titled Superman's Race with the Flash, was a charity event to raise money for the United Nations. They raced across the globe 3 times, but the comic cleverly ended in a tie. The criminals they were trying to stop manipulated the race, forcing them to work together. This set a precedent. The writers didn't want to diminish either hero by having one definitively lose. It was a draw, preserving the mystery and keeping the debate alive for fans. This theme of a tie or an inconclusive finish continued for years. They raced again shortly after in the Flash issue 175. This time, they were tricked by 2 aliens into racing. Again, the race was interrupted, and it ended in another dead heat. The message was clear: these 2 heroes are so evenly matched, so incredibly powerful, that picking a winner is nearly impossible. These early races established them as peers in speed, but they were more about fun, friendly competition than a serious, all-out contest. Superman could fly at incredible speeds, and Flash could run at incredible speeds. In these Silver Age stories, their limits were often undefined, making a clear winner hard to determine. But as the comics evolved, so did the characters and their powers. This is where the Flash starts to pull ahead. The key to understanding why lies in the source of their powers. Superman's speed is a biological function, a result of his Kryptonian physiology reacting to a yellow sun. It's an incredible power, allowing him to break the light barrier and even travel through time. But it's still fundamentally a physical ability. He's moving his body, or flying, at an insane velocity. There's a limit, even if that limit is astronomically high. He's a muscle car with a rocket engine. The Flash, on the other hand, is completely different. Barry Allen, Wally West, and other speedsters aren't just running fast. They are connected to the Speed Force. What is the Speed Force? It's a cosmic, extra-dimensional energy source that powers all speed in the DC multiverse. It's the very concept of motion given form. The Flash doesn't just run, he channels this fundamental force of the universe. This gives him abilities that go far beyond just moving from point A to point B quickly. He can vibrate his molecules to phase through solid objects, lend or steal speed from other people or objects, and even think at the speed of light. He's not just a fast runner, he's the master of motion itself. The modern era of comics finally started giving us more definitive answers. One of the most significant races took place during the Flash Rebirth storyline. Here, a possessed Barry Allen is running wild, and the entire Justice League, including Superman, tries to stop him. Superman admits it himself. He says, "I've raced you before, Barry. I even won some of those races." But then he continues, "Those were for charity, Barry. You know who the fastest man alive is." This was a huge moment. It was Superman, the most powerful hero of them all, openly admitting that in a real, no-holds-barred race, the Flash is faster. He's admitting that all those previous ties were just for show. But the most definitive proof comes from Wally West, who is often considered the fastest of all the Flashes. Wally has a deeper connection to the Speed Force than almost anyone. He's mainlined it. He doesn't just tap into it, he's practically become one with it. In a story from the Flash issue number 209, the Justice League is looking for the Flash. Superman tries to scan the entire planet to find him, but he can't. He says, "He's moving too fast for me to even perceive." At that moment, Wally has already circled the globe multiple times, checked every single person on the planet, all 6.5 billion of them, and is having a full conversation with Superman before the Man of Steel can even finish his sentence. That's a level of speed Superman simply cannot comprehend. Let us talk about some of the insane speed feats the Flash has accomplished that put him in a completely different league. Wally West once outran instantaneous teleportation. Think about that. A device was moving people from one point to another instantly, and Wally got there first. He ran across the entire universe faster than a signal could travel from one side to the other. In the story The Human Race, he had to race against cosmic gamblers who used teleportation. To win, Wally pushed himself to the absolute limit, absorbing the kinetic energy of every person on Earth to reach a speed that is, for all intents and purposes, immeasurable. He didn't just break the light barrier, he shattered the very concept of distance. Another mind-bending feat is traveling through time. Both heroes can do it, but they do it differently. Superman achieves this by flying faster than light, essentially brute forcing his way through the time stream. It's dangerous and uncontrolled. The Flash, however, uses the Speed Force as a direct pathway through time. He has much more precision and control. The entire Flashpoint event, which rebooted the DC Universe, was caused by Barry Allen running back in time to save his mother. His connection to the Speed Force makes him a master of time, not just a visitor. So, when we look at the evidence, the verdict becomes pretty clear. In their early, friendly races for charity, they were often portrayed as equals, ending in ties to protect both characters' reputations. It was fun, competitive, and left the question open. But as the lore of the DC Universe deepened and the nature of their powers was explored more thoroughly, a gap started to appear. Superman is incredibly, unbelievably fast. He can cross solar systems in minutes and react in nanoseconds. Against almost any other being in the universe, he's the fastest thing there is. But the Flash operates on a different level of reality. He's not just fast, he is speed. The Speed Force is a fundamental aspect of the universe, and the Flash is its master. While Superman is a physical being moving through space, the Flash is a conduit for the energy of motion itself. He can outrun death, outrun teleportation, and perceive events that happen in attoseconds. Superman himself has admitted on multiple occasions that when it truly matters, the Flash is faster. So, while Superman might win a 100-yard dash for a good cause and a true, all-out race across reality, the Scarlet Speedster, the Flash, leaves the Man of Steel in his dust. It's not just a victory, it's a fundamental truth of the DC Universe. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of comics' greatest rivalries. What do you think? Do you have a favorite Flash versus Superman race from the comics? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.